Hello and good afternoon, viewers. Thank you very much for your patience. You know what they say about technology, friend or foe. Today it decided to be a foe for us. We've been struggling to get in, but thank God, hey, we got in, we're in now. Thank you. And with us today is our guest today is no other than our favorite guest on Yoruba Lasha Yoruba Lady, Iya-Afin Wealthy Popoola-Adegoke. Thank you very much for joining us
Thank
and
you,
welcome to
madam.
Lolasreality.
Thank you. God bless you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you for bringing me here and for allowing me to be your guest. It's not what do you call it? It's not a privilege, but it is a very very good honor. It's not just thinking. I bless God for you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for coming on. Today we've got a very interesting topic we are discussing, and it's good because the last time we spoke about Yoruba Lasha Yoruba on it was on Yoruba Lasha Yoruba Day. I don't know if some people saw that or if they didn't, but those that probably didn't, I'll just recap. We spoke about the history of Yoruba and how our culture is and how it has been westernized to a certain degree. Moving on from that, on Lola's reality, as we know, is a mixture of both. So Yoruba and English, however it comes to our tongue. So we're talking on education today, basically. I think my hair is wanting to take off my face. So can you tell us more? We are generalizing education in the Western world and in our culture. Can you tell us more about that one?
Yes, I can. Really and truly, I find out that education or we're talking because I think why you really said I should come and do this. It's about the topic I treated on Facebook, which is schooling not by force. And schooling not by force has made us to know that a lot of time it is not by force. Yes, school is not by force. It's good to be educated, it's good to be trained, and sometimes we kind of bastardize it, we kind of take it out of context, we kind of call it what it's not, and we kind of force it. And I find out that forcing schools on people is not right. I can really talk about me um, as as a child when I go to school. I remember the way we are spoken to about school then. It makes you even feel like you are going to hell sometimes because they make you feel it's to them it's very very forceful, it's very very forceful, you know. So I just find out that it is not supposed to be. Yes, it's good to go to school, but it
Mhm.
should not be a thing that we should force on anybody. In this country that we are, they colonize us, and you find out that these days they make sure that the kids are schooled until they are like 16, and after that they are left to do their own things. And uh, by so doing, I found out that as a mother of three, I have been in education as well. I've been to school before, I've been on training, and these days you find out that a lot of people don't even see um a good way of schooling the mind of children. They made it a regimental thing where this is how it's supposed to be done. This is how you must do it. Number one, what is school? School is an institution for educating children. But really and truly, education starts from home. You go to school and you learn skills. The reason why you go to school is to learn skill, to meet people, to broaden your horizon. That is why you go to school. But education, which is the beginning. Some people believe that schools is the beginning of getting people knowledge. No, Education starts from home. As education starts from a very, very tender age. Sometimes we'll say from being a toddler, where a toddler is crawling or is just starting to walk, and you are um putting something in front of him and is coming to you. You are educating that child's mind that every time people um push their hand to you, they are giving you something or they want you to take something. Hallelujah. Oh, sorry, I'm saying hallelujah, I'm a Christian. Anyway, so as I've told my sister Ololade Maja before, I said I'm going to be mixing this with Yoruba as I go along, because why you really told me to come and do this is because of that topic I treated. A kì í fipá rán ọmọ lọ sílé ìwé àfi tó bá fẹ́ lọ.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot force a child to go to school unless that child is willing. And we
Very
found out
true.
that in the country we come from, it is by nooks and by crooks. Tipátipá ni ẹ̀tún fi ń fẹ́ràn Ṣàngó, náà fi ń ṣe. And at the end of the day, a lot of children fall by the wayside because they are not given the reason why they should go to school. They don't make it interesting, like this country that colonized us do. They made children see why they should go to school. You wake them up in the morning, unless they're really poorly, they are looking forward because they're going to meet their friends. Even if that is the reason why they go to school for the day, it is okay for them. And when
That's
they
it.
talk about
Can we come in there for a second?
yes, you
Let's
can.
clarify something. So, uh, guest, you're the guest. So our viewers know what our guest is saying. Iya-Afin, well, they are Popoola-Adegoke. We're not saying the education is not good. So the
No.
basic education is important and is very relevant in our life,
Yes.
even for
Yes.
success.
Yes.
I mean, primary school level, secondary school level, which is what she said, that up to the
Mm,
point here in England where you get to a point maybe when you're 16 years old and you can choose what course, maybe doing GCSE. No,
mm.
it's not even 16, it's 11, I think. Yeah, no, 15. Yeah, 11. So that's 15 years old.
I think from 16 you can start doing whatever you want to do. In
Yes,
at
but when it's
11 you're
time for
going to
their
the secondary
GCSE
school.
now,
Yeah.
they can choose. So it's formal education. If you don't go send your child to school in England, for some classes even can be fined in secondary school. They can call you, why is your
Yeah.
child not in school? Type of
Mm,
thing, and then you get fined. But
mm,
after that, they can decide, no, I don't want to school. I don't want formal that type of formal education. I want to go into training or something or
mhm,
internship. So
mhm.
let's just clarify that. We're not saying
Yeah.
do not send your kids to school. You
No, no.
should. It's a requirement in England, for example, for
Mm.
children to be in school. So do not say, no, I'm African and my kids are not going to school. No, your
Aha.
kids should be in school. And they must, in fact, to get
Yeah.
a way ahead in future, it's better to have something to fall back on. So an
Baby.
education can do that, or will do that, I should say,
Yeah.
no matter what your hobby is. So let's move forward to your second point.
Okay.
Kò ń ṣe
I know.
dandan.
My point. My second point now is that when we're talking about school, where we say not by force, I'm not saying as hosts has already clarified. We're not saying school is not good. It is good. The way we do it is what is wrong, especially in the country where we come from. Our mindset is saying to us that if kids don't go to uni, they will amount to nothing, and that is not true. You find out
Mm-hmm.
that a lot of kids that don't even go to uni, they become something great because their mind is being trained, their mind is being oriented. They have seen the future, and their parents have um supported them, because that is another thing. A lot
Support.
of parents are in this thinking that I said I did on Facebook. Some parents will not support their children if they don't do what they themselves want. So it's about, we want our children to achieve our own dream.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about their lives now. I nearly made that mistake when my son was telling me that he wants to be a film director. I said over my dead body, lie, lie. With this all levels you've got in your hand. When you go to college, you must do banking and finance. You must do accountancy. And the boy now told me, Mom, no. We fought from college home. But my junior brother called me and said, Sister, this is not you. You are not going to be sitting on his table. He's not going to be feeding you. He's going to be feeding himself. And his heart is not going to be happy if he did what you want and not what he wants. And I left it. And now he's doing well. He doesn't come to me for money. He's training people to become directors. You know, I could have achieved my own aim and scored my own goals by making sure he's in the banking hall. But
This is
no,
true.
I left it. But some parents back home will not leave it.
Even
Education
here,
is key.
not even back home, even those of us in the diaspora, we
Yeah,
think, oh, because this is where this is how we've been brought up as well,
you
or
know.
some of us. I don't think, no, you must be a doctor, or you must be a lawyer.
eh, I remember, was it Lenny Henry or another person, the real McCoy, they made a funny script about that. About a woman taking the child to for parents' evening when they're leaving primary to go to secondary. And
Yeah.
and the woman, the teacher, the person that was made to be the teacher in that script said, "Oh, I think the name used was Ronke. Ronke was nice. She's good with her hand. She's a good pottery person. She will be good in art." And the woman flipped and said, "Lie, lie.
That's bad.
Aderonke me whatever. It's a doctor." Can you see that child? The way she is looking, she's looking like a doctor. You know, that is our mind.
She's even sitting like a doctor.
Yeah, she's talking like a doctor, and you are saying my child is going to be doing pottery. Pottery, eh? So my
Open
child
up
will
more
not be
armor,
doing pots.
Down with doctor as well.
Armor, eh? You know, that is, and you know, one day I was talking to an uncle-in-law of mine. I said, if I'm a Nigerian president or education minister, I'll stop education in the university level for 3 years.
Yeah.
I will say, you know what? Whatever anybody wants to be after secondary school, we want you to go and practicalize it first. You want to be a construction engineer, go and start becoming a brickie. You want to be a doctor in the future, go and start laying beds in the hospital. Go and start going on rounds every morning with doctors. You want to be a lawyer? Go to the law firm and start from filing the cabinet,
Flex. Yeah.
becoming a clerk. You want to be an hotel management? Go and become a chambermaid.
Oh, very true.
You know, it's like that is how education should be playing in our mind. Education should not be a regimental thing. It should not be a rigid strict, where this is how it must be, and if it's not that way, that's it. It's not good. Our way or no ways. We should be thinking
Yeah.
about how in this country, if you see how to make children see schools, what you start them with is what will make them to know that school is important. Back
Very
home
true.
in Nigeria, a lot of children are going to school, they are taking their desk on their heads, they are taking their chairs. So
They're
you are
getting
telling
punished
them,
even
what you
before they
are
get
telling
there.
them invariably is that school is a hard thing.
It's a chore.
It's a chore.
Yeah.
Whereas in this country, they march to school.
It's
The place is
enjoyable for
set.
them. Yeah.
So they are encouraged. They are motivated.
It's true.
That is part of why we can say go to school, but not by force. Let us listen to our children when they are talking
Okay.
to us.
Can we just take that point as well before it's
Yes.
3:15? Where we say school is from home, I believe that as well. There's a Yoruba. If I get it right, if I get it wrong, you can come in and say Ile Latin Kesharode.
Yes.
Is that I'm not sure if that's the one I'm looking for. Yes,
You
that's
let
the
that take
one.
a shoro day. Yes, you are right. That
That's
means
one.
education starts from home.
Okay, so that's one good thing. My Yoruba Lasha is not too bad. I should
You are
say.
not you are not doing badly.
Now, so for that on that ground, the question then is, you said something earlier. You said what the child wants. So Nile at home, right?
Yes.
How do we learn, or how do we know what a child is good at? What are the pointers? What do we start to look at for? So we
Okay.
can kind of give the child a gentle push towards that area.
Mm. You know, when we are growing up,
Mm-hmm.
for example, you see some children when they wake up in the morning, they
Mm-hmm.
just rush out of bed. Whereas I've got this cousin, she will wake up, she knows that we're going to take turns in bathing anyway. She
Mm-hmm.
will lay her bed, she will fold her PJ because we wear
Wow.
PJ to bed that time. She will take her time. She's slow in taking her time, but she'll be the last one because our maid will bath us. So she knows that she's
Mm-hmm.
going to be the last one. This child, you can see that she is what do you call it? Sorry, please. Somebody is calling me. I'm cutting that person off. It's my son actually, but he will know. You know. So this child, you can see that she's a clean person, a regimented person.
That's the
You
word. Yeah.
understand? Some of us we love to be in the kitchen. So that person, if you are talking to will you like to be a caterer in the future? Maybe for now, children don't know what they want until they grow.
Mm-hmm.
But she will say because she likes the food, she's been with her maids then, and they're cooking and they're passing her little thing. She said, yes, I want to be a caterer.
Yeah.
But they don't know that time, but you are putting something into their head, knowing that they must have a career in the future. But now when they grow up, you have to sit them and ask them, I mean, maybe jokingly or whatever, tell me, what would you like to be? I've got a nephew. He has changed what he wants to be when we have conversation about 10 times.
That's true.
Today, he will say,
Even
I want
as
to be an
adults,
architect.
some of us are still
Tomorrow, I
growing,
want to
even
be,
as adults.
but the more you ask them, the more you watch them, you will know what they are likely, because you are not God, but what they are likely to be. A child that does not like blood, it will be hard for that child to be a doctor.
Very true.
You understand? A child that is
Mm-hmm.
sentimental, it will be hard for that child to be a lawyer, because that child will be putting sentiment into everything.
Mm-hmm.
But lawyers, they go there, they don't add sentiment, they do what they want to do and they move. A teacher with somebody that can manage time, is always punctual, is always neat, because I did education, and part of our expectation is being neat in our presentation. What we wear matters. You see some children, when they dress, they dress very, very formal. When you're talking to them, those people may become a politician later in future. I'm not talking about Nigerian politics now. I'm just talking about just normal politics. You understand what I'm saying? So these are the type of things you see, but you have to sit them down. You don't just push things down their throats. You don't just say because you are their parents, this is what you must do. That a lot of parents have used to ruin the future of their children. Some of them will even be telling their children, this is the type of woman you should marry. This is the type of man you should marry. No, we should not force anything down our children's throat. We should be mindful of how we do things with them. We should make them see us as friends not just as yes, we are their parents, we are their parents, but we should let them see us more as our friends, somebody that they can talk to. I was in the program I did before you invited me. I was saying, talking about how my dad would look at you and say, "This one is a lawyer. That one is a doctor. That one is this. That one is that." And he expected every one of us to be like that. My sister did business admin in those days. Now she's a professional nurse. And before my dad died, he said, if I'd known that Yomi will be a nurse, I would have channeled her to that area from the beginning. But because you never asked her, thank God, maybe he knows me that I love fashion designing. So when I came to this country, I went to fashion design college straight, and I love it. My twin sister, and he's also believed that because we are twins, we must be the same. But my twin sister left the fashion college to go into journalism. So we must sit down, we must listen. A lot of parents don't listen, they're just hearing. When you are talking to somebody and that person is just hearing you, it'll be like, But somebody that is really listening to you will not say anything. He will tell, for example, sometimes when I talk to my husband and I want to hear the answer to whatever I said instantly, he'll be looking at me. It was later that he told me that he's not going to give me an answer straight. It's nothing that he was thinking about. I'm the one that brought the thought to him. I should allow him to process it and come back. You understand? We should process our children. Process what they look like, what they feel like, what they talk about, what they are, their thinking faculty, their thinking manners, their mindset matters to us. But a lot
Very
of
true.
parents don't.
Sorry, can I just one more thing before we advise or before we share or advise our viewers or ask them for their thoughts or what we'll leave with them with? May I just ask you, because Lola's reality, the basic aim or the goal is to educate and entertain. And I
Then,
thank God because we're doing both today on this topic. That's why I wanted you to come on board. Because I heard your show I did on Facebook, Komishi Dodon,
Benny,
Ile Komishi and several
Benny.
ones like that. And I particularly like this one because I know in the country we're in now, in the UK, for example, and I'm sure for most of us in different diaspora countries, we find that different communities have their own niche that they want to tap into for sake of wealth or for in our case Nigerians for example might for the case I'm not sure do you think it's for wealth or for case of Omolagbaja and Sheba my child is doing this
Yeah,
or
that,
my
that
child
is
is doing
part
this.
of what I've written down. What parents should not do, you know. And number one of that is don't you should know that your children's brain are not wired the same.
Yeah, so
And
we're all wired differently.
no, we were. That is, when I did education, because I did education training, we found that there is a topic called inclusive classroom, where you think about how people are assimilating topics or knowledge. We have kinetic, we have audio, we have it's four of them. We have audio, kinetic, we have visual, and we have, thank you, Daddy Adegoke. My husband is telling me we have four. Anyway, some children will go to class and they will hear and they will quickly form their own opinion. Some people will want to see something practicalized. Some children will want to just sit down and be reading. Yeah, you understand? So different, we must know, and we must not compare children. A lot we find that in the country where we come from, because if we have to go by this country standard, they have gone very, very far in education, in schools, and whatever. But Baba Lekpe was the one that triggered this. I remembered. I had that song some years ago. 7 things. It's 8 things, but I combined 2 together. 7 things you cannot do by force. If you try to do it by force, it goes on the other side. A kì í fi párọ̀ mọ́ lọ sílé ìwé àfi tó bá fẹ́ lọ. If you forcefully make a child go to school or get education in what that child doesn't want, you are just wasted your time. And you cannot compare Omolagbaja with Omotamedu. You understand? Especially in our country where a lot of rich people's children, I'm not saying all, a lot of them are not even that educated. They are not, if you have to put some children that comes from poor home with their children, that children is on top. Those poor people, I'm not saying all, don't get me wrong, but they will not find a job now. Not because they are not educated, but because these other people are parents. You know, in Nigeria, contacts builds or brings contracts. In this country, you want a job, you get a job. Once you are good, you are good. But in Nigeria, no matter how good you are, if you are not a child of who is who that matters in the society, you are not going to get a job.
Very true.
You're not going to get a job. You understand what I'm saying? So we should not push our children too much. We should find out what makes their mind, thick. What blows their mind. Some children, you see them when they're in the playing ground, they will be playing with a hammer always. And when they're growing up, if their dad should have any tool, they want to play with that tool. They will be asking questions about that tools. That is how you know. Some children at home, they want to go out to the park and be looking at nature. And their parents will be saying, igi ló tún bá sọ̀rọ̀. It's like back home.
What's fascinating them? Yeah.
You know, it's like back home, a lot of parents are not that knowledgeable. I'm not saying that they are not smart or whatever. I'm not here to abuse anybody, but they are not well oriented.
No, that's
a lot of them are in uni, but they are socially illiterate. You have to be mindful of what is going on around you. We are now in a global world. But a lot of our parents back home are not treating stuff like that. They are just doing what they believe has been practiced. I remember this song, Ẹ̀kọ́ dára púpọ̀, ẹ̀kọ́ ló láyé tá wá yìí sẹ́. Ẹ̀kọ́ ló gbáwó lọ́wọ́ ga, ẹ̀kọ́ ló gbé Azikiwe ga, ẹ̀kọ́ ló gbé balẹ̀ wá ga. Ẹ dákun ẹ̀yin òbí wa. You know, it's like we're even begging our parents then to send us to school because of the way they have made education. School. A lot of people they've gone to school, they've gone to college, they've gone to uni, and still they lack some education. You hear in our Yoruba day sometimes, ilé ọkọ ilé ẹ̀kọ́ ni.
Yes, so you get further education there.
It's another further education. Whereas when you go to that place and you are not informal, because there is what you call formal and informal education. Formal education is what we gain in school. Informal education is what we gain everywhere we go on earth.
This is true. Even in the religious places,
You
in
know,
church, almost. Yeah.
in Nigeria now, a lot of, I'm not bringing religion into this because I'm a Christian, but a lot of Christians now have been they've been bamboozled too much that they have education, they will not go and look for work, and they'll be in church praying. You are praying about work, you are not looking for work.
Mm.
You are doing ìṣòru, àìsàn àlùfáà, revival, deadly pursuits, because you are just pursuing death.
Ẹsẹ̀
If
àwọn
you are
ojú
not,
Olúwa.
àwọn ojú Olúwa. If you are okay, let us ask ourselves this: if you are supposed to be in the office, will you be able to do it? I do it because I am working for myself.
I do it too.
You know, and you can even be at work. And we have a social media now. You can be at work, tune in, put your this thing, you're still working, but you are listening. But some people,
Mm.
they will prefer to be there. They will be excusing themselves at work. One day they will now be retrenched, or they will be
Yeah.
relieved of their work, and they will say God has not answered their prayers. Education is in the mind system. We should educate our mind. We should not do it as those in the past have done it. This country colonized us, yes, and we believe that we
Very
are
true.
practicing things their way, yes, but it is no, we are not. As I said in my program that I did, if your child should come and tell you that she wants to be, after secondary school, she wants to be selling puff puff, that mother will go through the roof. Puff puff, yeah, I hear me. And I analyzed how we saw these young chaps in Lagos Island selling puff puff. My sister and myself, we bought puff puff from them. We were eating, and I was watching. My sister just, we were just taking a chill. We all standing there. Lola, you will not believe that I counted one by one. Within like 10 minutes, they've made over 10,000 naira.
Yes.
Because we are on
And
a
that's
queue. They even put, that thing they put on your, that tag, they put on your clothes at dry cleaners. They gave it to us.
Mhm.
When it's your
They
turn,
have packaging. That's what they call packaging now.
you know, people are on queue, not in a shop, on the streets of Lagos Island.
Mm-hmm.
We were, I think, Balogun, I don't know which one, but one of the white, and they just have their little thing. One is selling pomo, one is selling pop, dundu and dudu, and there's this person that's now tagged along them selling drinks.
To wash
And
down all the food
you
anyone has
understand?
eaten.
And a mother will now say that the child should not go into that business, and those people are making money. If tomorrow they become millionaires, people will say, where did they get that money from? They will not know it's from their brain. It's from the
Yeah,
education
this is
they
when
give their brain.
we need to use both brain, our senses, and as well in when
Yeah,
we're making
and
decisions.
and that is where you compare school and what do you call it, education. It is two
Mm-hmm.
different things. In school, you get formal and informal. But in education, in school you get formal education. In formal knowledge, sorry, not education, formal knowledge. But education gives you both formal and informal knowledge.
Mm-hmm. Sorry,
And that
before we
is,
go, can I raise a topic here that someone
yes.
has said to me at some point
Mm,
that, well, obviously not your generation, but my generation, or
mm,
well, your generation, because you're still in part of this world, you haven't
yes,
left.
yeah.
Thank God for your life, long life and prosperity. So
Amen.
we are at risk of losing our culture, so to say.
Mm,
So when we leave now, we don't know what we're leaving or what we've left.
mm,
I mean, once we leave, that's it, we don't know.
mm,
But in terms of, you said something, that education starts from home.
mm,
I know some people that they don't speak English or
mm,
French, or,
mm,
depending on whatever country they are, to their children.
mm.
They speak their
They speak
their own.
only English.
No, when they're at home,
Yeah.
They believe that if their children are home, some people believe that they have to speak their mother tongue,
Mm-hmm.
that they'll learn English at home anyway, in school anyway. So sorry.
Mm,
So whilst at home, they speak their mother tongue.
mm,
Now, what is that part of learning from home? Learning to teach your children or your child your own language, as well as culture, tradition, respect, proverbs, adage.
mm,
My mother, for example, I know a lot of adage
mm,
because most of the time she'll say she'll drop in here or there.
mm,
You know,
mm. Uh, uh,
that's something you would say you would advise our viewers to inculcate into their children.
Definitely, definitely. Let us look at it this way. We are people of culture. We are people of
Mhm.
respect. We are robust. Our culture, our tradition is so robust. When people see us, just seeing us from afar, people will tell you
Mhm.
you're a Nigerian. And
This
really
is
and
true.
truly, I'm so proud to be one. And when you are in Nigeria, when you wear your clothes, people will say this is a Yoruba person, Igbo,
Mhm.
Hausa, whatever. We are so robust. You understand? Even in even in our appearance, that's the word. Even in our appearance, we are robust. So why won't we? Why shouldn't we educate our children to know our language, to know our respect, our culture, to know our tradition? Why not? If the Asians are doing it,
Yes, very good. And the Chinese as well.
the Chinese are doing it, why not us? The Apaches
Yes,
Indian, the Native Americans are still doing it. Why
very
not
much
us?
so. They're dressing
When
even.
I mean, all our kids were born in this country, and we speak Yoruba at home. I tell them, "Timba for any eti wa rule."
I do that.
I
That's for a long time. That was the only thing my children understood. Only the timber by later. I said, you don't say that
I
to
know
adults.
my children. Our first one is 36 this year. He understands everything. He's the only one that did not go to Nigeria to study. The two younger ones were taken to Nigeria for 5 years, 7 years.
Mm.
You understand? So, but they can speak, but they will not speak because they believe that we're going to make jest of them because of their accent.
Yeah.
But they can
Okay.
speak. They speak and they understand everything in Yoruba. Everything. Bami gbe kini
Yeah,
yen.
I think with kids they tend to understand, but the what's the word? The confidence to speak it is another thing.
Yeah.
But they'll just as like any language,
Yeah.
if you don't
But,
use it
and
in
that's
any
the mistake
over
a lot
time
of
they forget.
mothers do make. A lot of mothers, I mean, take our children for example. They speak Yoruba with us when they're little. They understand Yoruba. And when they speak, they're still speaking like the British because they are British anyway.
Exactly.
They still have, but to me, it's illiteracy of mind that makes you believe that once your children are speaking Yoruba, they will not have this country's accent. That's not true. Some people come to this country today and they pick up the accent. They fake it. I always say they fake the accent.
It's
And
not
they
fake
know
it till you make it.
they know how to do it. But I don't. I've been there since 79. I don't fake accent. I speak as I can. I speak for you to understand me. And I believe if I understand you, you should understand me too. And if you don't understand me, tough. I'm not going to be repeating myself. You
Try biting,
understand?
speaking through your nose or biting your tongue.
Uh, no, I'm not interested. Even if I speak from morning till night, they're still going to tell me I've got accent anyway. So why should I fake it?
Who was accent though? Anyway,
No,
that's the
accent
topic
in
for another
English.
day.
Like when you're speaking English, they'll say, "Oh, you've got accent." Of course, I will have accent. I'm not born here.
Oh, you drank a different water, different
Abi,
type of water.
you know.
That's just a joke.
So we should enact our
You
culture,
drank.
the respect in our children, but not too much because I find out that respect, what we call respect, sometimes can be an abuse. Where once you respect somebody, you cannot look at that person and tell that person, what you are doing is wrong. Respect should go beyond that. You should be able to tell your dad, dad, that is not on. You are even educating dad now, so that dad
Okay,
knows that
is this
the
for our
world
younger
has
viewers
shifted.
now? If they don't want a particular course, sorry to go miss.
Yeah,
Before we wrap up, is this for our younger viewers now? If there's a certain, there's a particular course they would like to do in university, they should respectfully tell their parents that I'd rather study this instead of this because this is my passion. This is what I enjoy. This is what I believe I'll do well in.
yeah.
You know, I, for example, I'm more of an English literature person. When I went to uni. So if I had been forced to go down the accountancy route, I probably wouldn't have graduated because I hated maths anyway.
Mm. That makes the two of us.
So
So
that's
I believe, approach matters. Approach really matters. When you are approaching your parents, especially, you are somebody of culture, you have tradition. When you're talking
yeah.
to your elderly ones, there is a way you put your words across. Yes, it's your life, but
Definitely.
my children cannot come to me and say, Mom, don't tell me that is my life. Eh?
So I brought you to this life.
Abby, I tested this life before you anyway. But if you come to me, Mom, try to understand me. What words makes, pathways, sensible words, pathways for people, makes people great in life.
Mm-hmm.
Approach in life really matters. Approach to your
It
parents,
does.
even to your managers at work. Some kids will respect
It's
their
true.
managers, but they will not respect their parents. Where's that coming from?
It's true even that at school. You hear them say miss this, miss that, and they're so respectful.
And
Then you
at
come home,
home, you just want to talk to your mom anyhow.
you don't
No,
talk
no,
to your
no.
parents,
That's
so
not on.
it's not on.
Mom, you know
It's
what?
true.
You are saying this like this. In future, it's not like that. Future is what we are aiming at. Because we forget
Mm-hmm.
that we are going to leave these children here. We're not going to be
Yeah.
with them forever. So why are we forcing our own thing on them? We're now in the global market, global world, where
Mm-hmm.
our children are here today and they are talking to a Chinese
Yeah, and they're all
girl,
dotted around the world before you know
you
it.
know,
So it's even
and
true.
eventually they will bring a Chinese girl home for us that they want to
Yeah.
marry. My daughter asked me once, Mom, you said you don't mind who I marry. How about a Chinese? I said, are they not uh,
Mm-hmm.
people? Are they not human beings? Bring somebody as long as that person loves you. That's all that matters.
It's true, and they love each other. It's true, very true.
Love matters. I'm an in-law to an American. I'm an in-law to a white British. So it does not matter to me. My dad did that good for us. That exposed us early.
Yeah.
He gave us good and very, very broad horizon towards life by bringing us here
Yes,
at an
it's
early
true.
stage. My dad believes in this British etiquette that is no more. The way you eat, the way you clean your mouth, the way you sit in the public, my dad believes in that. Do we see that in the British system again? No. So our children should have good approach when they are
Yes. So before we go, can I just say this? Sorry, just talking about approach. There's
yeah.
this thing I say to I hear it. So I used to hear a lot, when because I read it. So I transferred it to my son, and he uses it, and he
Mm,
saw it working for him, and he tells his friends. I've heard him say it. I always say when he asks me something briskly, I'm like, you're not gonna get it. You know what you're supposed to do. I'm saying sweet, so I say sweet gets more.
yeah.
So every time he wants, when I said, he said, oh yeah, I know, mom. Sweet gets more. I said yes. So one day I heard him on the phone. I heard him, and he was telling his friends, sweet gets more, don't you?
Mm.
So he's even was teaching his brother even. So I said, so I'm just going to share that.
You
Sweet
know,
gets more in that when you
you
ask
know,
sweetly, you get more.
yeah,
Now, not just for young, not for young people, even adults.
Yeah,
You're
even
speaking to a
for
friend, you ask in a nice
you
way.
want, when my children, they have what do you call it? It's not incantation. There is it's not a dodge. It's oriki. What's oriki again?
Okay,
And
now
I
it's
broke it. I broke it within them. I'll call
okay,
one Ojanimogun. I'll call one
okay.
Enileni Loba. I broke it when you called. Pẹ̀lú ọkọ mi, Enileni Loba Amunoba.
Yeah.
And I made them to know the reason. Ah, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Ìwọ nìyẹn, Ojanimogun mi ará Àjàmọ̀. Things like that. I made them to know. And when we're talking and I'm saying that to them, they feel happy.
Yes, and
And if I want to
they'll be
ask
inspired
them to do
to do more.
something, I'll say,
Yeah.
for me, Ojanimogun mi ará Àjàmọ̀.
So,
Ọmọ
what do you
Ìpòrò.
want?
By the time I go, you see them being attentive.
Yes, this is true.
And they will now want me to they will now want to do what I want. And if they can't, they will let me know the reason why it cannot be done.
Mm-hmm.
Mom, the world is not like that anymore. Money, and I will say, educate me. I'll say, especially my first one, Banji, educate me. And he will
It's true.
talk,
Tell me, Mabi, because you're old school.
and really and truly, my children, I'm their first teacher, and they still knows that till today. Every time I
Yeah.
talk to them, I say, I'm your first teacher, and I'll be the end of your teaching. Because
Mm-hmm.
until I go, I will still be educating you. But all those teachers you met in school, they will leave you, which is true.
Mm-hmm. They'll
So
move on
when
to
they
another school
Abby,
when they
and
get
you are
promoted.
going on, they are having other people under their tutelage.
Very true.
So
Very
I
true.
said, I am your first and last teacher, apart from God Almighty. So
Mm-hmm.
listen to me. I will not push you into fire. Abby,
No,
that's
at
what we
all.
say to our children. No.
Yes, exactly. This is true.
And whatever you become will be my gain or my loss. And I don't intend to have any loss but gain.
We don't want any loss. Gain,
No,
we pray for gain
gain,
all the
gain,
time.
gain,
Profit, gain,
gain
gain,
all the
gain,
way. You
all the
know.
way.
So I let them know that, and they believe me. That's why I said approach is key. You can't just talk to a child anyhow because it's your child. And children cannot just approach me any which way. This is me. I'll say, I'm not even asked Talumba Soro. And my children will
Mabi,
quickly comport themselves.
Mabi, Agbẹjọ́rò pé, okay.
I was
So,
annoyed one day. I called one a fool. And he was annoyed. He was so annoyed. And he was now trying to justify. And I said, you know what? I'm putting this one down, blah, blah, blah. And later, he made me to know that I said to them from long time ago, don't allow anybody to call you a fool.
it's true. It's
He
true.
was went in, Mom, please let me talk to you. I'm not saying that calling me a fool is because he said that is disrespectful. That was his response. And I said, me, be disrespectful. Me,
You see, even you
you
see,
know,
correct, even saying that
eh,
education, that's why we need to, from an adult's perspective, that's respect. We have to respect even the young people.
you
So
know,
even though, okay, so when you said disrespectful, yeah, to him, that was disrespectful.
you
Even my
know,
kids, as young as they are, I've got, they are way younger than yours. I know
mm,
this, than your first example, especially, and even there are some things that say, oh, that was rude. I was like, rude, who are
you
you?
know,
So maybe you might be talking, I'm like, wait, shut up, I'm watching TV. I was like, ah, that was rude. I'm like, that was rude. You don't say
you
your
know,
mother is rude. But you see, this is how think adults can be rude. But adults can be rude. It's
oh,
part of
we
education,
can
what
be,
we're saying.
we can be, especially we Nigerians, we can very be,
Yeah, we can.
and it
Even
came
I
back,
know someone
and
that said it,
mm,
that they are pastors as well. A pastor particularly, she found it very rude, the way in his approach to talking to her. And she left just as a spiritual head,
mm,
just shout or just speak anyhow. Like, oh,
you know.
this man is rude.
So he now came back and spoke with me, and then I understand where he's coming from. and I have to say sorry. A lot of parents cannot say sorry. Imagine.
So we should, yes, that's bad. We should say sorry.
You
When
should learn to
I
say
do,
sorry.
I write letters. I text messages without someone saying, without anyone telling me that I've done wrong. I have this. I get a conviction if I do
Hmm.
something wrong to friends or my friend, my or my children, for example. I would, and I feel convicted, and I can't call them. I'll send a WhatsApp message. I'll say, I realized that was very rude of me, and I apologize. I'm sorry.
You know,
End up. So we must be able to calm
we
down,
must
humble
be able.
ourselves.
I thought my dad died before he died because, my dad brought us here at a tender age. Some of us were put in the foster homes. Some were schooled, educated from home and whatever. People like me, I went to college, so I'm an adult, like a young adult that time. But my
Mm.
junior ones believes that putting them in a foster home is a no-no. That they don't know those people, you just drop them there. And my dad was paying for it, it's not free.
It's not free yet, and that was
You
the
know,
way. That was the way
and
of life in those
you
days.
know, and they see it as a bad thing that my dad did not take care of them. My dad was not on with them,
It was
caring
not
for
hands
them,
on.
hands on. And my dad was saying, with all the money I spent on them, solid money, hard currency. And I was looking. And one day I said, and I have my ways with my dad, anyway. And I said, Papa me. He said, yes. Can I talk to you? Will you be able to listen? He said, I'm not all ears. I said, you're not all ears, oh. Until you get your ways, you are not all ears. You're going to be shouting in a minute. And I don't want you to shout. I said, no, Kendi, I will listen. And I told him stage by stage of how those children sees everything and whatever. And my dad does something in his lifetime, bless him. He's a very good writer.
Yeah.
He was very, very eloquent. And his English, because in their days they studied with Queen's English anyway. And my dad wrote a
Yes.
lengthy letter to my mom's last one, Obafemi, and expressed how sorry he believes. He explained himself and expressed
Hmm.
apologies. And my brother saw it later in life, read
Oh.
it, and was really happy with my dad. That's because I think when my dad gave him that letter, he thought because my dad, when he wants to insult you, he will insult you with the letter as well. Keep it.
So you can
So
do
he
that.
thought it's one of his insults and he just chuck it somewhere. And he saw it later in life, before my dad died, anyway. So he read it and he saw it. And since then, my dad would, anything we said, my dad would say, Emma Bino, sorry, oh. I said, hey, daddy, that's not the way. Sorry,
And
oh. I said, no, apologize sensibly. And I don't mean that you are senseless, because I'll quickly, because my dad said, hey, she must be senseless.
it's true.
Yeah, things like that. I said, no, I'm not
It's
saying that
true.
you are senseless, but sensibly means when you are approaching issue, the way other person's mind is playing, you want to kind of buy that person's mind. That is how we should
Hmm.
treat our children, and that is our own education.
That's
Now,
our own education. Well done. So we've been able to cover both parts, the
mm,
parents and the children.
mm.
Excellent. I think we've done well here today. We On that note, can you just quickly summarize kò ń ṣe dandan kò ń ṣe páàrí kò ń ṣe a kì í rán ọmọ léèwé
A
dandan
kì í fipá rán ọmọ lọ sílé ìwé àfi
a
tó
kì
bá
í
fẹ́ lọ.
fipá.
I will summarize it this way, that number one, we are not God.
Mm.
We should stop playing God in our
We should
children's
stop
life.
playing God.
Stop playing God in our children's life. We should be godly about them. We should be a good listener. We should not force issue or push things, because pushing, so our children will say you are pushing your luck. Sometimes we push our luck. We should stop doing
But you
that.
are dragging it.
Yeah,
You have more courage than you.
you know they they are they we should not make them feel bad by comparing them to others.
Yeah.
Can't you see like
And
Baja? She has finished her education and you are still in the uni, or you are still in the secondary school. In this country, you don't even fail a secondary school because you'll be pushed until you are pushed out. Yeah, you'll be pushed. In Nigeria, you can repeat a class, you can go on trial. Because I remember on trial in our days, you'll be in a class on trial. If they believe that you are not catching up, they'll now demote you. In this country, there's nothing like that.
mm,
But we must, even if our children start an education and a formal education, and they believe that they need to change a bit, we must understand.
that's true.
At the end of the day, sorry to use the word, we're not the one paying. It's the government, or they're paying because now they're getting loans and they have to pay back in future.
Exactly. So they have debts that they have to clear.
Yeah.
So it
And
has
we
to be a
must
reasonable
respect
debt.
them. We must respect their their mindset
Mm-hmm.
where education is concerned. We must not be a bully.
Then let's
We,
bully
we
them
must we
into.
must be able to sit back and watch. Sometimes we push ourselves too much to their face. We make schooling or formal education, especially because today we're talking about formal education. People don't see apprenticeship, training, vocational education as education.
And it is very,
And
even
it
now,
is. I
that's
found
the
that
case
I
in
was
the
going,
UK at the moment, where they are short of laborers,
you
hands
know,
with labels in it, because most of the EU countries are
yeah,
out. So,
they are out now. I was once I was writing up today. I went into the government portal, and I found
mm,
out that a lot of children, young ones, young adults are in uni, and by the time they get out, they're going to be seeking jobs. Whereas people that are on apprenticeship, they've already got themselves a
they
job.
have experience. This is true.
Whilst they are doing apprenticeship, they are being cashed by employers.
Mm-hmm.
You, after uni, you are going to seek employment. But whilst they are in apprenticeship, sorry, excuse me, they are already caught by employers.
Yeah, and they've gained the knowledge they need
And they've
to
got
start
the
with.
knowledge. And if you are a university graduate now and you're applying for a job, they ask for you for your experience.
They ask for
Where you get it
experience, yeah.
from? You
And then you
understand?
start by doing voluntary. I remember you have to do
Yeah,
voluntary job
you know. So this this will be my own
without pay.
summary.
And we had,
That will be my summary.
yeah, we've done well. I think we've done well. So we can. So we've got to 5, 10 minutes, but it's fine.
So
But you said before, you summarized very well. Thank you. But there is something that is sticking out here, and we've still got 10 minutes. So I want you to deal
okay,
with it.
all right.
When we said that we should not let our dreams, like maybe what we wanted to achieve, we now transfer it to the children. Say,
Yeah,
go and study this. Maybe that's
yeah,
exactly what you wanted to study. And you didn't get around to studying it. Now it becomes your vision for it, for your child. But really,
mm,
it's not their vision. But because if we didn't get around to doing it, you think,
yeah,
okay, you go. I'll watch it through your eyes, or I'll become it through your eyes, type of
yeah,
thing.
yeah, yeah. I would like
So,
to talk about myself because I am a typical example of that. I wish to be in the military, especially a police. But I did not
okay.
know that there's a
All
cutoff.
right, okay.
You
Aye,
know,
aye.
I never knew there's a cutoff age. When I went to college to do public service, which I did in my OND, thank God I've
Yeah.
got wealth of experience. I'm like jack of all trade, but I master everything.
Amen. I'm master of all, Zach.
Master of all, I
Yeah.
don't joke with any education I do. So I found out that at the age, I think it was 33, and I was like 35 or 36 when I went to college, you know. But I knew that I love being in the military. And I've got my baby, my girl. I always say, you're
Yeah.
going to be a pilot. You're going to be a pilot. And she really wants to be a pilot, believe me. She likes to be
It
a
has
pilot.
nothing to do with you nudging,
No, no, no.
nudging at you.
But eventually she told me, she said, Mom, because she did aviation. She did aviation. Eventually,
Mm.
she graduated in aviation,
That's
and she
good.
started. She did simulation of taking off and landing plane. But America, we know
That's
that
good.
it's
That's
very
good.
expensive to go into
Yes.
piloting and whatever. And because she's a girl, later I found out that I don't even want her to be a pilot. I'm sorry, because I'm afraid. I'm always afraid.
Yes,
Always
exactly.
afraid, you know. But thank God I did not push her because I want to achieve my own aim in life. No. And I could have
Mm,
done that. Some
that's true.
parents will believe that, oh, I will have become a lawyer. Ah, okay, let my children, will let at least one of my child become a lawyer. I know this family in Abeokuta. I think about 4 children, all of them did law because of their parents. Their
Mm,
dad was a lawyer, he was a barrister. And one of them, at least I know one, which is our age mate. She's into business now. She's a graduate. I think she was even called to bar. But she's now a businesswoman.
see,
So
she eventually owns her own property.
don't let us waste their knowledge because we want to achieve our own dream.
Mm,
That's
very
my
true.
take on that.
Well done. Thank you very much, and thanks for coming.
Thank you. Thank you.
Iya-Afin Popoola-Adegoke.
Thank
Adegoke. Adegoke.
yeah.
More knowledge, wisdom, and understanding for you, and I pray you all the best.
Thank
Can you
you.
tell us more about your show? Maybe your reader, our viewers
Oh,
can
thank
come in.
you. Thank you for giving me that opportunity. I'm the
It's okay.
convener of Women of Many Blessings. You can follow me. I come as the Spirit leads. And believe me, the Women of Many Blessings Ministry International is not just about um, women, it's about education in general. We treat Bible based education, we treat secular based education. But you can follow me on YouTube. If you go on YouTube, just look for Wealthy Popoola-Adegoke. You'll find me there. Yeah, Women of Many Blessings International. That is womb, is just the shortening of it. You
Womb.
understand? Womb, yes, women of many blessings. Because we women
Yes,
we
I
carry
know.
the
I
womb,
know.
and we are of many blessings. I'm a mother of
Yes.
six. Between my husband and myself, we have 6 lovely, godly kids. My first career in
Hallelujah.
life was fashion designing. I went into to try to be in the military. I could not be, but I did my O levels in public service. I'm now a caterer. I've not
With
really done.
delicious food, I mean, and you're still owing me that Ijebu. Ijebu was that thing.
Is it Ayamashi or which one?
I must say, Koja and
Oh,
Tambala.
okay, Egusi Jebu.
Egusi Ijebu.
Egusi,
See?
I'm still owing you. Don't worry about that.
Yes, you are.
I'm still owing
And
you that.
we said it globally now, so there's
Yeah,
no time for
I owe you. I owe you. I'm the wife of I call him my pastor really, Pastor Joel Adegoke. That's my
definitely.
marital
And it's
status.
my
Yeah,
yeah, so
your dad, your spiritual dad, you call him.
yes, so evangelist, my pastor, my teacher. So let us go on and on.
Yeah. Oh, thank
He's a
you.
good man you got there, and you're a good woman. Well, a match made in
Thank you.
heaven.
Thank you
Thanks a
so
lot
much.
for coming. I couldn't ask for a better guest.
Thank you
God
so
bless you.
much.
God
Thank
bless you for your time.
you.
And
Amen.
once again, I apologize for our technology that became a foe today. But thank God that we came back. You know, technology can be either a friend or a foe. It chose to be a foe. We were meant to start at 2, but thanks for your patience for
It's all right.
waiting to 3. So
It's all
thank
right.
God and God bless you as gone.
So please,
Have a lovely week, everyone.
Auntie Lola, let me quickly say, please go on YouTube and on Facebook. Follow me
Yes,
and like
we
me.
reiterate that here.
Follow me and like me. And let us take this to the end of the world together. Thank you so
Definitely.
much. I really
Can you tell us your YouTube page? You just said follow you here. So
Yeah, follow
let's
me.
thank you.
My YouTube page is called Wealthy Popoola-Adegoke. I'm still going to do some professional touches to it. Auntie Lola here has introduced me to a young man in Nigeria that is going to help me to do a lot of things. So until then,
Yes,
it's
and
still,
we do that.
it's
God's
still,
got that covered, definitely.
yeah, yeah. So it's Wealthy Popoola-Adegoke. That's my platform name for now. So if you go there, you see wealth of
Well done. I'm
videos,
going to do that.
please.
Thank you. And I'm
And
sure our
on you,
viewers have heard, and
and on
we'll also leave
Facebook,
it
the
on our
same.
Facebook page.
On Facebook, you can see me there as Wealthy Adegoke. But very soon you will we will go. We are going to put it formally as Women of Many Blessings.
Yeah, womb, because, and that's powerful, isn't it? I like womb.
Yeah, Women of Many Blessings. Womb. Thank you so much. I really
That's
appreciate it.
powerful. God bless you once again, man.
Amen, my
God
dear
bless
sister.
you. My
Amen.
regards to Uncle. I'm sure he's watching anyway. I know
Yeah,
he
I
always
believe
he
it
gets
was.
to our back
I
all
made
the
a
time.
mistake. I didn't send it
God
to
bless
you.
him. God bless you too.
But I think you must have
He
sent it
got
to him
us. He got
because
us.
he's on. I think he's a friend. He's a follower of OY Media. So he must
He
have
is. That's what I'm saying. That's what I say. He got us. He got us.
received it. Okay.
And that guy, God got all of us in the
Yes.
palm of his hands.
Yes. Bye, my
Ashema, thanks for coming.
fellowship. God
Oluwatu
bless
asagbara dotun.
you. Ami Jesu. Ami.
Ẹ ṣàṣeyẹ, ẹ
See you around.
ṣàṣeyege.
Amen. Amen. So can I
It's
sign off
well. It's
now?
well. And thank you to Pastor Yerokun.